Okay, so what the intention is at this point in time is to engage you guys in a preparation for the debate activities that are going to take place in the class, for the for the debate activity required in the class at this point in time. So first of all, let's go to the course schedule, and we recognize here. Let me make this a little bigger. Let me know if you're seeing it clearly, guys. As you recognize, that our debate is the 23rd of April, which that is the last teaching week. We are already coming near the end of April. We are likely to lose a class. No, I don't think so. We're not going to be affected by the Easter holidays, but I want to get us started with this. So, if we remember, in the activities for the class, we have a debate activity that we're going to be engaging in. Now, for us to do that, we first of all we need to make a decision on which two of these three um, topics are we willing to debate. So the way I want to do that is by, you know, taking getting some feedback from you guys in relation to that. Right. Let me make this a little bigger. So we're going to be looking at, taking a vote then, basically utilizing a form of democratic approach to this whole thing. So by a show of hands, we have to no, we are going to be debating two out of these three, and I want to look at which topics appeal to people in relation to um, their willingness to want to participate in that activity. So you can vote twice, but you can't vote three times. All right, so be careful with. So it means I'm looking for your preferences in terms of the topics for debating. So by a show of hands, let's see how many people would be interested in debating the topic "Leaders are born, not made." You have to leave your hands up for now. I saw 8 and then suddenly it disappeared. All right, I'm going to take a note of that. That's 8 people. All right, hands down, guys. Let's look at the next topic. Let's get hands down first. Dominique, hand down. All right, good. Next topic: men make better leaders than women. So we have 12 going once, 13 going once, going twice. All right, so we'll take 13 here. All right, that seems to be the popular one. All right, hands down again. All right, how many people will be interested in debating transformational leaders are more effective than transactional leaders? Now, if you've already voted twice, you can't vote for this again. Huh? So we have one, two, we have two going once, going twice. All right. So thank you very much for the voting. So as we can see, we have two topics that people are really interested in debating, and that is leaders are born, not made, and men make better leaders than women. All right, so that means we are not dealing with transformational leadership. All right, so let me copy this. Um, and we're now going to go to the next aspect of what has to happen tonight. Let's start by putting this in here. Take out the like somebody's coming in. Yes, Raymond is coming back in. All right, let me make this a little bigger so that you can see what's going on. All right, so these are the two topics that we are debating, that you all have selected as a class to debate, I should say. All right, so the next thing we need to do is to take my 29 students, bring them over here, and just paste the names here for now. All right, seem to have another person. Mandy's coming back in. Chats. 1 and 2, sir. All right, okay, we got that. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to create 3 teams to conduct the debate. So the teams are going to be those who will be arguing for, those who will be arguing against, and then those who are going to take on the responsibility of mediating. Mediators. I think that's how it's spelled. All right. Now, the team 4, because we have 2 topics, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be using 10 people for that team. And then we have another 10 people for this team. Make this a little bigger. And then the mediators will have, because we have a total of 29 students in class, we would be having 9 mediators. That's the total there. Now, we also have to subdivide into topic 1. And we will be subdividing the debating teams into topic 1. Let me just merge and center this. Where is that? Ah, there we go. And then we're going to allow 5 people for that team. 2, 3, 4. All right. Okay, and then we're gonna have topic 2. All right, and again we're gonna have another 5 by 5 here. That makes sense? You're seeing the nature of allocations here. Mediators do not necessarily need to subdivide into topic 1 and 2. So we'll just be looking for, let me just insert a column here. We'll just be looking for 9 people here. So 1, 2, 3. I think that's it there. All right, now we don't need a 10th. All right, so we have, again, remember these are for and against across the board. And then we have topic 1 and then topic 2 to subdivide in. So the choices now would be for you guys to choose where you'd like to go. So we'll start with the people who are here, and then we will assign people who are not here into groups, and they will be capable of trading with other people in other groups that weren't too keen on doing that in the first instance. So first, what I want to do is I want to get your own personal preferences as to where you'd like to go. All right, so is Albert here? No.
Yes, sir.
Albert, where would you like to go?
Topic 2 and
Topic 2 Against or
Yeah,
for?
again.
Against. Right. So you're against men making men. Let me just organize this. Center. All right. Cool. That makes sense, I guess. All right. Just neaten up this table a little bit. All right, so you people are getting the idea of what they're doing. They're choosing where they want to go in terms of actions. All right, so before we actually complete this, let me just explain a little bit about how this is going to take place. This is an exercise in you practicing some of the things that we are doing in the course. So there's practice of group work, teamwork. We're also going to be practicing ethics and ethical decision making. We're also going to be dealing with um, applying the guidelines for dealing with conflict and conflict resolution. So all of these things are up and this is in nature, it is going to be an exercise in leadership activities because the way this is going to run is that the mediators will run the debate. All right, they will conduct the debate, and they will and their function here would be to score each of the debates and determine from the presentations of the debating activities, they would then determine who has won the debate and they will score the debaters. The debaters, on the other hand, will evaluate the activities of the mediators and give them a score. Now, you're not going to be scoring arbitrarily. What you're going to be utilizing is so this is the a rubric that was set up by another class, all right, for the debaters to utilize. So this rubric here is designed. Can you guys see this? Should I make it a little bigger? That helps. All right, so this is the one that the previous mediators from another class utilized to evaluate the the debate activities of both teams. So you'd see they'd have the, whatever the topic is, they'll determine whether it's the negative or the affirmative team as the for or against, and they'd list the names of the students in that team. And they would utilize the categories of respect for other teams. So although we are in a adversarial activity, it doesn't mean that we treat each other with a lack of respect. They're also going to evaluate the information that was utilized during the debate process. And through that, it will indicate the degree of understanding that the team has developed for the topic that they are representing in their debating activity. Use of facts and statistics, and this would be how well the teams were able to utilize cited sources of information in terms of facts, studies, statistical data that they will be able to get to help support their point of view or their position in relation to the debate that they're getting into. Organization is how the teams were able to organize the flow of their arguments from one debater to another as they moved on. The next area is in rebuttals, is how well the team was able to deal with the counter arguments that were put forward from the opposing team in relation to your position and how they dealt with it and how they were able to answer those questions and so on. There's a section here on questions and response. Now, during the debate activity, questions can be asked, and the way in which those questions are, the teams respond to the questions and handle the questions and queries will also be a place that can be evaluated. However, if for whatever reason nobody asked questions or questions weren't asked during the period of that debating activity, then the um, then the mark has to be given clearly as 5 marks. It doesn't matter. So whether or not you, if there are questions asked, then this comes in. If there are no questions, then by default you just get that mark. Then the last area is presentation style, and here we, because we're not using video feeds and that type of stuff, and we're not in a face-to-face environment, it's primarily going to be gauged upon the tone of voice and the level of enthusiasm that was generated through the nature of the presentations that were being made by the debaters during the activity, and that's 15 marks. So again, this is marked out of 100%. Um, and these rubrics here are designed to try and eliminate the the subjectivity that can take place when we're dealing with something of this nature. So as I said before, this is the rubric that the mediating team would utilize to evaluate and score the students who are participating in the debate itself. Now, as opposed to that, the debate teams will utilize a similar but not the same rubric to evaluate. Now, this means each separate team, the for and the against for each different topic, will be evaluating the speaker's team in a similar manner. And again, this is not one per individual, but one rubric um, per per group. So one for the for team, one for the against team, and so on. You all will get together during the debate time frame, and you'll evaluate the performance of the mediators utilizing similar um, categories of information. So you see again respect for others. So that's an important thing, because although you are the speaker of the house or you're in charge of a debate, it doesn't mean that you behave in a arbitrary manner and affect other people and so on. Second area, knowledge of process, how well they exhibited that they knew and were familiar with the process and comfortable with the process of managing the debate. That, of course, would impact the score that they would get for debate management, which means that were they able to utilize their knowledge to be able to effectively manage the debating activities that took place. The overall organization of the event, which begins from before the actual day of the event, you'll see that coming up um, thing, and as well as on the evening of the debate, how well they were able to take charge of things and listen to what's going on. Fairness of rulings when there are issues that arise based upon concerns or questions that are asked from opposing members of the teams. The 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 ability of the mediators to apply the rules and give rulings when necessary would also be evaluated. And of course, clarity of instructions which will also be another element, and that actually comes up in terms of the meetings that they will hold with the class to give instructions as to how the debate is going to be conducted. So each debate team will conduct this and do a score. Again, it's out of 100%, and that will determine. Once they've done that, they will then go to the e-classroom and submit it per team. Now, the mediators have to submit multiple copies of their own, so they will have to. The best way to do it is really create one file with multiple copies of this rubric, following one upon the next, and submitting it. They would have to have a little more, they would have to spend a little more time in doing this. But in relation to the teams here that we set up for the debate, we can have a situation where the one member from each of the teams would submit the rubric for their team, the for and the against, that kind of stuff. All right, everybody's clear so far on the use of the rubrics? Now, one of the main things that's going to have to happen is that this document here as well is the guidelines that govern the debate activity. And these guidelines would have to be gone over by the mediators. And you notice there's some blank information here. They would have to complete the exercise. And this is, again, one that existed from a previous semester that I provide as stimulus for them to create the rules and functions of the debate activity. We're utilizing a parliamentary style, which means we are utilizing um, the approach that we see in our parliaments around us. All right, and they would need to organize things in such a way that Um, so, for example, the leader of the mediators will be the Speaker of the House, the Deputy Speaker. You'll have clerks of the House. They would also need to have timekeepers and note takers. So they have a lot of activities that they're going to get involved with. They are going to, the reason why they have to have timekeepers and note takers obviously they would need to be taking notes so that they can utilize that during the marking process. Timekeepers to keep a measure of time in relation to how long or how much time is allocated for each speaker in the debate to get up and address the Priya. All right, welcome back, Priya. Um, all right, so they would need to go through this document and ensure that they're comfortable with it. They would understand the rules of how it works out. They would, once they make any adjustments and stuff, they'd have to bring, or just bring this main document back to the class and get kind of go through it with the class to make sure everybody understands how they are going to behave during the debate, how they're going to ask questions if they want to ask questions, how they raise points of order, if heckling is allowed, how they can go about heckling others, that kind of stuff. The appropriate way in which to address each other and address the Speaker of the House and so on. All of those things um, come up here. You'd see the timekeepers and that type of stuff. So you'd recognize that there's a sort of what's the word I want to use? An agenda. So you'd have the Speaker of the House rising and opening the debate activity, and they're allocated 2 minutes for that. Now it doesn't mean you're going to use all of the time, the 2 minutes. That can probably be done in a minute or a minute and a half, that kind of stuff. Where you open the meeting and you maybe because at the beginning you might start with a prayer to what's it, convene the house, and then read the topic for debate, and then open the floor to this first main speaker. Traditionally, governments are always given the floor first to present their argument. But you'd see we have a first speaker for the four team, followed by an intermission of 2 minutes. Now the intermission is allowed for, now again, different teams use different techniques. So sometimes I've had the first two speeches are given. Well, primarily the reason for having the intermission is to allow the following team to have an opportunity to address, to make some sort of preparation to address some of the issues identified by the previous speaker against whom they are debating. So, that it starts to allow for some sort of rebuttals to begin. But the primary responsibility of the first main speakers for both the for and against team would be to articulate the positions that they're taking on the topic and the arguments in general that they are going to be presenting to do so. And as we move to the other sets of speakers, this is where rebuttals begin. Because as the main arguments are presented, it means therefore that you have to be trying to chip away at what their arguments are. So this is where you have 2 rounds of rebuttals going on afterwards. Again, in a trading style. So the last person to speak is somebody for against. Now, the mediators can kind of adjust the times if they want. You want to try to stay within an hour for each debate activity, because although we have 3 hours for the debate, there's usually some technical issues that come up and other housekeeping issues that arise that sometimes need to be dealt with. Now, at the end of each debate, there's an assessment period. Now, this tends to be a little longer because assessing some debates can be particularly difficult, especially if it was a really rich and controversial debate. You might want to increase the amount of time set aside for that. Now, during the assessment period, it means that the teams, in terms of both the debaters and the mediators, need to leave the forum that we're going to be utilizing, the teens classroom, and either go into separate rooms, which because there's a room facility where they can speak privately with each other about how to go about scoring, because remember they have to come together with consensus as to how to score these people, to score the activities, not the people. And then they come back, and at the well, I would always suggest that they don't announce any winners until the end of the two topics being debated, which is why you kind of put aside an hour per debate, and then you have the other stuff that takes place from there. Now, this activity closes off the semester for us. This is the last main thing. Now, that means that the rubrics that are submitted become the scores that students will receive for this activity. And if we remember, this activity counts for 15% of your final grade. So I am taking a spectator. My only responsibility in the debate is to record it. That's my only responsibility, and I'm recording it for the purpose of ensuring that if anybody's querying what happened and how things went, I have some evidence as to why things went the way they did. All right, everybody's clear on that. They understand what's going on now and what your various responsibilities will be, um, given what we're looking at. Yes, no? Any questions? Right, feedback is an important part of the communication process. I won't know if you understand if you don't say anything, guys. Come on.
Yes, sir, I
Yes, sir.
understand.
So we free to reach out to you if we have any questions, right?
Of
Yes, sir.
course. All right, I
Okay.
would probably need, yes, Destiny, I see your hand up. You want to ask a question?
I get it, sir. I know you I explain data, right? I don't have a full 100% idea of what the mediators really do.
The debaters?
Mediators.
Oh, the mediators mediate the debates. Generally in a debate, you have the judges. Have you ever looked
Yeah.
at a debate in the past? Right. The mediators are the judges. They run the show, and but because we're using a parliamentary style debate, the mediators are going to take on the job of the Speaker of the House, whereas the for and against teams would be the government and opposition. It makes a better sense now. The mediators will also determine who wins the debate for each topic, and assign a score for it. All right. And I'll tell you the honest truth. So most times the gap between who wins and who loses is usually never more than 3 or 4 marks. Huh? So people will be scoring in the 90s, but the difference between um, the team that lost and the team that won is just a matter of a couple of marks here and there. Especially when there's a high level of a good quality debate going on. All right. Does that help you a little bit, Destiny?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's the response. So the mediators, on the other hand, what will be evaluated about the mediators, how they went about doing what they had to do, which is take charge of the debate, set up the rules, submit all the documents that were required, and so on. Those things are what we're looking at here. So at this point in time, what I want to do is I want to continue the process of letting people assign themselves to groups. Yes, Mr. Mohammed.
Yes, sir. Sorry. Would the mediator be doing the individual assessment?
When you say individual, what do you mean?
Like each person will assess it.
No, you're assessing as a team.
Oh, okay, okay.
So it's a
Sounds
group.
good, sir.
Again, it is going to be group-based activities or team-based activities. Make sense? So it's not
Yes, sir.
individual. It's not an individual score sheet. Each team will each team will generate a separate evaluation for each of the activities. The mediators have the most amount to do, um, because they have to do it. They will have to generate 4 different rubrics, 2 for, 2 against, that kind of 2 for the 4, 2 rubrics for each debate. So they end up with 4 rubrics across the board. Whereas the debaters, each team of debaters will only have to conduct the rubric exercise once. Okay? Yes, Ms. Hackett.
Sir, I wanted to be moved to topic 2 again.
But you weren't put anywhere yet, so that's where you want to go, right?
Yes, sir.
Topic 2 against.
Yes, sir.
All right, good. All right, so let's Albert, we dealt with already. You're willing to stay where you are?
Yes, sir.
All right, Idris, I see your hand up. Where you want to go?
Topic 1 again.
Topic 1 against. Okay. All right.
So I would like to go topic 2, 4.
Okay, let me call a name because who was just talking there? Denise?
Yes, sir. Because I actually thought you was going in order according to the list.
I'm trying to, but I'm seeing hands going up, so I'm going to deal with it. As the hands go up, I'll deal with them. So you wanted to go topic 2 against, Denise?
4.
4, topic 2, 4. All right. Anuradha.
Topic 2 against.
Remember, there's a limiter. There's 5 by 5. All right, Anuradha, if you've been placed, then you put your hand down, please. Caleb.
Topic 1 against.
Topic 1 against. All right. Mandy. Mandy.
Topic 1 against.
Topic 1 against. Let's see, everybody running on the against. All right. Mohammed.
Mediator, sir.
Okay. Dominique.
Mediator for me as well, sir.
Okay. Ronnie.
Topic 2 against.
Topic 2 against. All right. Paige. Paige.
Yes, sir. Sorry. I was trying to lower my hand instead of unmuting the mic. Topic 2 against.
All right. That means there's
Wait, no. Where have I put Dini's name under there? I'm confused.
Topic 2, 4. She's arguing that men make better leaders than women. Wish you luck there. All right. Dominic.
So I'd like to volunteer as mediator.
All right, good. That's not a problem. There's space everywhere. So, well, Davis.
Mediator, sir.
All right. Cappy.
I said topic 2 against.
All right, that closes off that team, huh? All right, Trisha.
Topic 2, 4.
Topic 2, 4. Okay. Priya.
So topic 1 again.
All right. Judy.
Topic 1, 4, please.
Topic 1, 4. Okay, cool. All right. Who's still here? All right, guys, put your hands down if you were assigned already, please. All right, so Nayak, I haven't heard anything from you. What's going on? Raymond,
Hi, sir.
Hi, Nayak. Yeah, where would you like to go?
I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna put you. Sorry, what?
A mediator, that would be good for me.
I don't know. You have to decide. No. All right, just now I see Raymond has a hand up. Raymond.
Topic 2-4.
Topic 2-4. Topic 2-4. Okay. All right. Naomi is here still? Yes, Naomi. Where do you want to go? Naomi up there.
Topic 1, against.
All right. So that means that the against teams are filled. All right. That now leaves us with, let's see, who else is still here? Is Peter's here still? Trisha, I think everybody who's here has been assigned.
So Zoe fell off, but she asked if there is space under topic 2-4. She would go there.
Topic 2-4. Yes, she closes off that team. All right, good. So that team is finished. That entire debate is closed off now. All right. So I think, is Muriel here, or Marshall? Yes, Naomi. Let me hear you. See your hand still up. Naomi, Lakan. All right. Okay. All right. So now we come to the tricky part. I think. Just having a look to see who's still here.
Sorry, sir, I left it up.
Okay, Paige, I see your hand up too. What's up?
So,
Yes.
by chance, we get any results tonight?
Yes, I want to talk to you all when I finish with this.
Okay, great, thanks.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna have to start to assign people who are not here for the All right, so I'm gonna put. All right. I'm gonna put Jack here. That's Maya. Kind of unfair to load. You put Marshall up here. All right. All right. Now the situation is such that if you and this may happen because of the nature of how the teams are pulled together. If you want to trade out of the team, so let me do this, copy this and go to the WhatsApp chat. All right, so that's there. I also want to put up the put into the, I'm going to put these documents in as well. All right, so these are all the documents I just showed you, plus the teams. So I would expect that you guys will start the process of doing some, pulling together some subgrouping, sub teams that you in WhatsApp and so on, so that you could begin the communication process um, for what has to take place. The first team that really needs to get cracking really is the mediators. But the only thing that the only changes that can take place now would be changes in your placement by finding somebody who's willing to trade with you, and this is especially in relation to the people who are absent. So be understanding if people want to make trades and that kind of stuff. All right, if you are willing to make a trade, then you're not that heavily committed. So I hope that this is clearly understand what's taking place, and we will continue working on this in relation to what is going to take place in the future. So we'll have subsequent meetings when we can find some time. All right, let me pause the recording at this time for this.